Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit in current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, we're celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. I love our celebrations, although sometimes they don't do me any good. Like today, National Sugar Cookie Day. Okay, I like sugar cookies, but whoa, Josh, you went for the good ones, the fancies. Little frosting on there. Like my grandkids like sprinkles. Your kids like sprinkles, Josh? Are they? Yeah, I think that's the kids all like the sprinkles. Okay, National Sugar Cookie Day. It doesn't do any good for my diet, though. I mean, I just went over 72 pounds lost. So I am on an excitement, although, I don't know. I get some quiet time. With the schedule that we keep, I don't get much quiet time. But I get out there and I go and walk now 2 to 3 miles a day. And put the headphones in, quiet, walk the reservoir in Anaheim Hills or walking the beach in Balboa Island. So you get a little bit of quiet time. That's kind of nice to get that in there. Catch up on a few podcasts, catch up on what's going on in the world, turn off everything else. Now, I will admit, I'm not used to this. Yesterday, I was out walking at the reservoir, the day before yesterday. And I have this little dog. She goes and walks with me, about, 15, 20 pound dog. And I had to carry her for a little ways. Not because she was tired, but Anaheim Hills, we've got coyotes. So get some coyotes out there on by the reservoir. And little dogs and coyotes, they don't mix very well. So carried the dog around. And I think about that. And the reason I bring that up is when you really think about it, having lost 72 pounds right now, and I'm carrying around this 20-pound dog and saying, well, she gets heavy after a while. And then I think, guess what? I was carrying around 3 times that all the time. So yeah, you don't ever think of it in those terms, but the shots are working. I love my shots. rsrlinks.com/shot. rsrlinks.com/shot. If you want to get on the shots, highly recommend them. Let's see what the markets are doing today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 116 points. The S&P is up 22. NASDAQ is up 110. And oil is up 33 cents a barrel. Saudi Arabia was going to be increasing their output, but we're still at 68.51 a barrel of oil. We don't want oil to go up too high. That's kind of a tax break in essence. It's not a real tax break, but it feels like a tax break. Now, yes, I know we are in California, so We don't get to realize much of that. A lot of the country will feel it. California, I paid $3.77 a gallon yesterday. I was surprised, shocked. I thought that if you go to a Costco is Costco, but not when it comes to gas prices. So Fullerton, significantly cheaper than it is in Yorba Linda. So I just happened to be in that area, went over there. Although the statewide average, $4.54 a gallon, $4.54 in the formerly Golden State. Year ago was $4.78. National average is $3.16 a gallon. So thanks, Gavin. We're a $4.40 higher than the rest of the country on average. Josh is laughing at us again. $3.40 over there in Nevada. He's in America. $3.60. Okay, so wow, you guys are going up. Your local area is getting a lot closer to the statewide average. They ought to do it in a weighted way, I guess. Right? I mean, you can go out there in what is it, Prim. And that's where they just get the tourists coming through. And who's filling up in Prim? The people that ran out of gas and have to, right? But I don't think it's going to be nearly as much as the people that are filling up. Last time I was in Vegas, right over by the airport was the Costco I went to. And there was a good pricing right there. But $3.60 is over there for Josh. Looking at, I think, Oregon, Washington, probably the only other states in the union, well, Hawaii. Oregon, Washington, Hawaii are the only other states in the union that are in the $4 range. It's a shame, but we have to deal with it in Southern California. It's our penalty for living in Mecca. And I have conversations all the time with friends that are in America, and you hear some of the things that they talk about and some of the regulation that they don't deal with that we have to deal with here. It's just, it's frustrating. I guess that's the best word. You listen to it and watch it. Although you can't watch the news anymore. I have to watch, news that's outside of California. Even on ESPN, the news. I'll be the first to admit I'm not a fan of the WNBA. You can say all you want. I'm not a fan. So, and they push it all the time. I'm not a fan of soccer. So the Angels suck. The Dodgers, I was able to share my favorite post. LA lost again. Not a Dodger fan. But, if you want to follow the winner, the Dodgers are certainly the team right there. See what's happening there. Bronny James, 2 points yesterday. I wonder if he's going to have a contract once his dad retires. Maybe his dad won't be able to ever retire because that's, I think, the only thing driving the son. But there's a lot of news going on in other areas. If you want to watch the local news here, I'll tell you what's going to be on the news. ICE is going and doing another raid, and Karen Bass is doing nothing. Oh, no, she's complaining, but now it turns out that there's leaked documents saying that she told the police to stand down, and now she wants to know, why is the National Guard here? Why are the Marines here? Why are they protecting the ICE agents? I say, you gotta protect law enforcement no matter where they are. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, selling and buying at the same time, here's what you need to know. The transition loan from our friends at Geneva Financial. How much do you need to retire? The one most families overlook until it's too late. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel lending team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel lending team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 0186945. You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Every day at this time, OBMMI. They provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates, with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. They do not tell us points paid, points received, or the APR. They tell us the number you need to put in your mortgage calculator to find out what your principal and interest payment will be. If you don't have a mortgage calculator, get it. It's free. rsrlinks.com/mobile app. rsrlinks.com/mobile app. Rates yesterday, every one of them were up. Looking a little better today, though. Conventional 30-year fixed, 6.741. Jumbo 30-year fixed, 6.896. FHA 30-year fixed, 6.564. VA 30-year fixed, 6.403. USDA 30-year fixed, 6.464. And remember that, again, that's the number you're putting in the mortgage calculator. Again, the best loan on the market is the Home Select All-in-One loan. That one there, the interest rate is 8.31 as of right now. Although when I did an analysis for a family yesterday, 2.229 was their effective interest rate. And they're going to save 14 years on their payments. Yeah, you like that one, huh? 14 years saved on the payments. And they have the potential, if they follow directions, I can't guarantee they follow directions, of increasing their net worth over the term of the 30-year loan by $637,000. You tell me what other loan is going to do that for you. There is none. What's happening in the market right now? Well, we're looking again, the S&P 500, as I shared with you a little earlier, up 20 points. We've got the 10-year Treasury, the yield is down 4 basis points, 4.365. It should be in the threes. Jerome Powell,
such an idiot.
Yeah, well, he's not listening. And we've got the mortgage bond itself is up 16 basis points. Remember, bond up, yield down, interest rates down. And as I say all the time, you got to remember, strategy beats rate always. So as I shared with you a minute ago, when we were looking at the 30-year fixed rate loan from our friends over at OBMMI, as what it locked at yesterday, that was at 6.741. But I look at our reports here, and it tells me Mortgage News Daily, they say 6.81. Freddie Mac says 6.67. The Mortgage Bankers Association, 6.77. So they're all over the place. Strategy beats rate always. And as I said, the best loan on the market is at 8.31, but an effective rate of 2.22. Think about that. So now, what's driving the markets right now? Well, there's not a whole lot of news right now. I look at the economic calendar, and yeah, we've got a 10-year Treasury auction coming out at about 10 o'clock our time. The Federal Reserve minutes from their last meeting comes out at 11 o'clock California time. Those things generally are not good for mortgage rates. Historically, that's just the way it's been. The FHFA, Bill Pulte, announced that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac will immediately start accepting Vantage Score 4.0 in addition to FICO scores. Hopefully it brings down the costs, but don't hold your breath because Pulte tells you what the FHFA will accept. Hold the horses. You got to get that through the whole system. So he says they're going to do it immediately, but are the loan operating systems ready for it? I don't think so. Are the underwriters ready for it? I don't think so. Are the investors ready for it? I don't think so. So we'll see what happens. VantageScore incorporates alternative data sources like rent, utilities, and telecommunications. It also eliminates the requirement for the consumer credit file to be older than 6 months, which could allow new credit individuals equally or to qualify. They estimate that there now could be up to 5 million new eligible buyers. 5 million. So the question is, are you one of them? I don't know. Start a loan app with our team and we'll look and we'll see. Maybe you qualify now. Again, strategy beats rate always. Or maybe what you need to do is get on a game plan, one or the other. We're also in a race for the next Fed chair. It's on as Powell's term ends May of next year. We've discussed the possibility of Fed Governor Waller, who would be a good candidate, I believe. Kevin Hassett, the director of the National Economic Council, well respected, is also one of the top candidates. Since he has never served as a Fed governor, he would have to fill the upcoming vacancy first, as you must have served as a Fed governor first to be Fed chair. Adriana Kugler's term as Fed governor is up at the end of January 2026. If Hassett was appointed as her successor, it would signal to the markets that he is likely choice. Lastly, Fed Governor Kevin Warsh is in the running. Warsh used to be a Fed governor, so is familiar with the Fed dealings. And but I would have to see how much in alignment he is with Donald Trump's philosophies. We know that from recent comments, Waller is more in line with Trump than he is in line with our friend Jerome Powell.
Such an idiot. Such an idiot.
Yeah, so that we got that one. And we know Kevin Hassett, being that he's out on TV all the time and he's a part of the Economic Council and served with the president in his last term as well. Might be a lot there to consider. Bottom line, between Vantage Score and new Fed candidates emerging, there are options. Now, when I look at the 10-year Treasury, we don't like the options there because there's way too much going on with the 10-year Treasury for us to be too excited with that, because we're at levels of support, which means it's going to be hard for the rate to go down through those levels of support unless there's some news that forces it that way. And there's a lot of room until we get up to any levels of resistance. So we could see a lot of changes there, and most of them not really for the better. So we're watching all of that right now. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial when you're ready for that next home loan. Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Hey, we did just come out with our new home buyer and home sellers guides. The summer editions are on the street now. If you haven't got it, let us know you want it. Home Sellers Guide, rsrlinks.com/HSG. rsrlinks.com/HSG. Get a copy of the guide. I'm sure you want to know what your home is worth. rsrlinks.com/homewealth. rsrlinks.com/homewealth. And if you want to find out the value of what's happening in the market in your zip code, can't get any more granular than that. I'm not going to your neighbor's house. rsrlinks.com/market report. rsrlinks.com/market report. So we give you all these tools to try and help you have the best information possible. And if you're thinking about buying a house, well, we've got you covered there too. We've got two reports for you. We've got our annual report, rsrlinks.com/HBG2025, rsrlinks.com/HBG2025. And we've got the summer update, rsrlinks.com/HBG, rsrlinks.com/HBG. We got them all for you, got it all covered. And, I haven't talked to you about this one in a while, which I should. If you're over age 62 and you know what's most important in your life, cash flow. I know from the financial world, family and all that, I understand that. But, you can take a look, rsrlinks.com/reverse, rsrlinks.com/reverse. I am a big proponent of the reverse mortgage. I helped my parents with it. I helped negotiate the liquidation of the reverse. And yes, the house is still held within our family. So no, the banks don't own it. And I've gone the whole gamut with it. rsrlinks.com/reverse, rsrlinks.com/reverse. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, selling and buying at the same time, here's what you need to know. How much do you need to retire? And the one most financial issue, families overlook until it's too late. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Selling and buying at the same time, here's what you need to know. If you're a homeowner planning to move, you're probably wondering what the process is going to look like and what you should tackle first. Is it better to start by finding your next home? Or should you sell your current house before you go out looking? Ultimately, what's right for you depends on a lot of factors, and that's where an agent's experience can really help make your next step clear. They know your local market, the latest trends, and what's working for other homeowners right now. And they'll be able to make a recommendation based on their expertise and your needs. But here's a little bit of a sneak peek. In many cases today, getting your current home on the market first can put you in a better spot. Here's why that order tends to work best and how an agent can help. The advantages of selling first. Number one, you'll unlock your equity. Selling your current home before you try to buy your next one allows you to access the equity you've built up. And based on home price appreciation over the past few years, that's no small number. Data from Cotality, formerly CoreLogic, shows the average homeowner is sitting on a $302,000 $302,000 in equity.
Ow!
No, we should have Yahoo on that one. And once you sell, you can use that equity to pay for the down payment on your next house, and maybe even more. You could even have enough to buy your next house in cash. That's a big deal, and it could make your next move a whole lot easier on your wallet. And you know that a lot of people want to pay cash. I am not a fan because there's zero rate of return on home equity. So take that same money, put it in a safe, secure investment, and you could write a check for the cash anytime, but you have the liquidity. Remember, safety, liquidity, and return. Number 2, you won't be juggling 2 mortgages. Trying to buy before you sell means you could wind up holding 2 mortgages, even if just for a few months. That can get expensive fast, especially if there are unexpected repairs or delays. Selling first removes that stress and helps you move forward without the financial strain. As Ramsey's solution says, it's best to sell your old home before buying a new one to avoid unnecessary risks and possible headaches. Number 3, you'll be in a stronger position when you make an offer. Sellers love a clean, simple offer. If you've already sold your house, you don't need to make your offer contingent on that sale, and that can help you stand out. Your agent can position your offer to be as strong as possible so you have the best shot at getting the home you want. This can be a big advantage in competitive markets where sellers prefer buyers with fewer strings attached. A couple things to keep in mind. But like anything in life, there are trade-offs. As you weigh your options, consider the potential drawbacks too. 1, you may need to stay temporarily. Once your house sells, you may need a short-term rental or to stay with family until you can move into your next home. Your agent can help you negotiate things like post-closing occupancy, renting the home from the buyer for a set period, or flexible closing dates to help smooth out that transition as much as possible. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490, FM 98.1 video feed, you are seeing a chart that says, sell or buy, which should you do first? It may make sense to sell first if you want to avoid paying 2 mortgages at once. You want to use your profit towards your next down payment. Homes are taking longer to sell in your area. It may make sense to buy first if you want to avoid the stress of finding temporary housing. You have enough savings to cover your next down payment. Homes are selling quickly in your area. Remember my comment, strategy beats rate always? The transition loan that we have available, that can help you solve this problem. Use the equity of your departing property to help buy the new property. When the departing property sells, then you put your permanent financing in place on the new property. And if interest rates drop as we expect, you could be in a much better situation. Best way to determine what's best for you and your specific situation, give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Let's chat and find out what makes sense for you. In many cases, selling first doesn't just give you clarity, it gives you options. It helps you buy with more confidence, more financial power, and less pressure. Again, unless you qualify for the transition loan. If you're ready to make a move, but you're not sure where to begin, give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. We can walk you through your potential equity, your timing, and your local market conditions so you can decide what's right for you. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Borrow Smart segment today being brought to you by gethomeselect.com, gethomeselect.com. Again, the best loan on the market. Again, and strategy beats rate always. We just helped a family with the Home Select all-in-one loan. Just did a demo this morning, or yesterday we worked it out. 2.229 is their effective interest rate. Yes, I know the interest rate is 8.31 because of the way it works and the compounding issues or lack of compounding. 2.229 is the effective interest rate. How much do you need to retire? It's less than you think if you do this one thing. Welcome to another edition of the Borrow Smart segment on Ron Siegel Radio, where we discuss your home, your bank account, and anything affecting your financial future. I am Ron Siegel, Certified Liability Advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Today, we're diving into a big question that keeps a lot of folks up at night. How much money do I really need to retire? Now, before you start crunching numbers and stressing out, take a deep breath. This isn't about chasing some arbitrary seven-figure goal. It's about strategy, your strategy. Because when it comes to retirement, the real question isn't how much, it's how do I make what I have last? So let's break it down. Define your retirement goals. Before we touch a single calculator, let's talk about vision. When do you want to retire? What does retirement look like for you? Are you planning a quiet life close to family, just jet setting across Europe, taking up golf, gardening, or grandkids full time? Because your timeline and your lifestyle choices will drive everything else, from your expected expenses to how long your money needs to last. If you're thinking about retiring early, say in your 50s, you've got more years to fund. Retiring at 70, that's a different calculation. So the when and the what are your foundation. Know your number. Here's the most common rule of thumb. You'll need about 70 to 80% of your pre-retirement income to maintain a similar lifestyle once the paycheck stops. If you're earning $100,000 now, aim for $70,000 to $80,000 a year in retirement. But we're not guessing. List it out. Housing. Will your mortgage be paid off? Renting? Right sizing? Healthcare. Think premiums, out of pocket, and long-term care. Daily living. Food, transportation, utilities. Those don't retire. Fun stuff. Travel, entertainment, hobbies. The unexpected, repairs, emergency, life. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being prepared. And that's why I tell you, we don't want to have a huge amount of home equity, but we want to have those funds available in a side account that can make your mortgage payment or allow you to get the liquidity you deserve. What will pay you in retirement? Let's talk income. Most people have three key sources. Social Security. It's still around and most folks will get something. The average benefit today is about $1,900 a month. Yours depends on your earnings and when you claim. Pensions. If you're lucky enough to have one, good for you. But make sure you understand the payout options. Savings and investments. This includes your 401k, IRAs, brokerage accounts, strategic life insurance accounts. And here's where smart withdrawal strategies matter. If you need $80,000 per year and Social Security plus pension gives you $30,000, then your savings need to cover that remaining $50,000 gap. So how much do you need saved? Use the 25x rule. Take the $50,000 and multiply it by 25. That means you need $1.25 million set aside to fund your 30-year retirement with reasonable confidence. But wait, there's more. Let's add two key curveballs: inflation and longevity. Inflation averages 2 to 3% annually. Doesn't sound like much. Over 20 to 30 years, it'll lead into your purchasing power. That $80,000 lifestyle could cost $130,000 later. And then there's longevity. If you're healthy and have family history on your side, living into your 90s isn't far-fetched. Your money has to last that long and then some. That's why you don't just need savings. You need a plan for withdrawals, a hedge against inflation, and possibly guaranteed income strategies. Don't forget the market. You've worked hard. Don't let one bad decade in the stock market derail your retirement. Diversification is key. That doesn't mean chasing returns. It means building a portfolio that includes growth, income, and stability. That might include stocks and ETFs for long-term growth, bonds and annuities for stability, cash reserves for emergencies, and yes, life insurance as a strategic tool, especially if you're concerned about legacy taxes and long-term care. And that's a conversation I'd love to have with you. Talk to someone who knows you, not just the math. Here's the truth. Retirement planning isn't a one-size-fits-all formula. It's a custom roadmap based on your life, your goals, and your risk. And that's where we come in. Ron Siegel Radio, we're not just about home loans. We're about your whole household balance sheet. That's why we offer our liability review, when we help you understand what you owe and what you own and how to use your assets like home equity and strategic insurance to support your long-term goals. You can start with our 30-second liability checkup at rsrlinks.com/Sora. rsrlinks.com/Sora. It's free, it's private, and it could change the trajectory of your retirement. Bottom line, remember, the question isn't just how much do I need to retire? The better question is, how much do I make the most of what I have so I can retire confidently without regrets? You've worked too hard to leave this to chance. Let's build a strategy that makes your money last as long as you do. I am Ron Siegel. This is Ron Siegel Radio. I am a certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. And on Ron Siegel Radio, we help you build wealth through better debt and smarter planning. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and stay financially free. That is the Borrow Smart segment, brought to you by GetHomeSelect.com, GetHomeSelect.com. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, the one thing most families overlook until it's too late. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Borrow Smart segment today being brought to you by GetHomeSelect.com, GetHomeSelect.com. The one thing most families overlook until it's too late. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, where we don't just talk about building wealth, we talk about protecting it. Now, let me ask you something. What happens to your financial house if you get sidelined by an illness or injury? Tomorrow. Not when you're 85, not after retirement. I mean, tomorrow. Too many of us plan for death with life insurance. But what if you don't die? What if you survive but can't work? That's where today's conversation gets serious. We're talking about disability and your finances. The conversation no one wants to have until it's too late. Here's the truth. In 2023 alone, the Social Security Disability Insurance Program paid out over $150 billion in benefits. And guess what? Even with that massive figure, it's projected to run out of reserves by 2035 if reforms are not made. Translation, Uncle Sam is overworked and underfunded, and you do not want to rely solely on a government program if you lose your paycheck. That's why many families are turning to personal disability insurance, real protection that covers your income when life hits the brakes. Let's break it down. Disability insurance replaces a portion of your income typically up to 60% if you become disabled from an accident or illness. It helps fill the income gap and cover mounting medical expenses because let's face it, disability is a double whammy. You lose income because you can't work. You gain unexpected medical costs because of the disability itself. Now, some folks think I've got workers' comp. I'm good. Not so fast. Workers' comp only kicks in if you're injured on the job. If your accident happens off the clock, like during your morning jog, and while lifting that Costco-sized bag of dog food into your trunk, workers' comp won't help. Plus, each state makes its own rules. Coverage and benefits vary, and the fine print often leaves people underprotected. Here's the wake-up call. If you've got an active lifestyle, if you work in a high-risk job, or if you're self-employed, you're probably flying without a financial parachute. Now, disability insurance is not one size fits all. You can customize coverage to fit your life. Want benefits paid weekly, monthly? You choose. Want a shorter elimination period before benefits kick in? You can adjust it. Need partial disability coverage or a cost of living adjustment? There are policies for that. And get this, if you're paying for the policy with after-tax dollars, the benefits may be non-taxable income. That's right, tax-free money when you need it most. That's smart money. But most importantly, this isn't just about the money. It's about protecting your dignity, your independence, and your family's lifestyle. Because here's the hard truth. Only about 22.5% of working-aged disabled Americans are currently employed. That's not a fluke, it's a warning sign. And while federal programs provide some help, the qualifying process is grueling. The benefits are modest and the system is already stretched thin. So what's the play? Simple. Control what you can. Disability insurance lets you build a financial wall around your income while you're still healthy enough to qualify. And if you're already doing what your retirement planning, insurance review, or debt management strategy with us and the team, we can look at this too. We'll make sure your entire financial foundation is protected, not just propped up. Remember, as a certified liability advisor, my job isn't just to help you qualify for a mortgage, it's to help you protect your financial future from all sides. Let's take the next step together. Head over to rsrlinks.com/Sora, rsrlinks.com/Sora, and request a 30-second liability checkup. We'll run a soft credit pull and show you how to better protect your income, your assets, and your long-term strategy. Because if your paycheck disappears, what's your backup plan? Don't let disability derail your dreams. You've been listening to Ron Siegel Radio, educating, empowering, and elevating smart homeowners just like you. I am Ron Siegel, your certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Until next time, that is the Borrow Smart segment brought to you by GetHomeSelect.com, GetHomeSelect.com. Yeah, let's see. Many times we talk about the credit card debt and how many people are paying credit card bills the wrong way. So I always tell you, go to rsrccpayment.com, rsrccpayment.com, and we show you the right way to do it. So let's show that to you now. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Special thanks to Josh and Sean. Special thanks to you for, for listening to us today. And thanks Josh and Sean for engineering us today. As always, you can reach me anytime off air number 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 at ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We will talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.